Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into some absolutely mind-bending Mahayana Buddhist concepts. Seriously, we're going to break down these massive cosmic spiritual mechanics into something you can actually wrap your head around, turning it all into a really elegant journey. We're looking deep into the mechanics of the mind, the nature of reality, and what it actually takes to transform your consciousness. It's packed with some striking metaphors, so let's just jump right in.
Right out of the gate, the text hits us with a pretty shocking question that challenges our entire foundational identity. Are you a genuine disciple of the truth, or are you just a spy infiltrating the spiritual house? It's a bold provocation for sure, but it's meant to make us immediately question why we even seek out spiritual or self-improvement practices in the first place.
To make sense of all this dense philosophy, we've broken today's explainer down into 5 main parts. True child of Tathagata, the gateway to unbound liberation, Samantabhadra's dual dimensions, a really cool concept called a grain of sugar for the ant, and finally, guarding the mind and reversing karma.
Okay, Part 1. True child of Tathagata, or the Buddha's family. Let's look at what it truly means to be born into this spiritual identity.
The text uses this brilliant historical analogy. It contrasts the pure official, that loyal minister who serves the realm with absolutely zero self-interest or hidden agenda, against the spy. Now, the spy is someone who enters a spiritual space just to steal its treasures. They take the peace, the prestige, or the knowledge, and they use it to feed their own inner demons of greed and anger. It's a huge warning against wearing sheep's clothing while acting like a wolf in the spiritual flock.
There's this amazingly vivid metaphor here. Imagine your fundamental nature is a spotless, pure white cat. But because we're constantly attaching ourselves to worldly habits, chaotic thoughts, and petty grievances, we magically transform ourselves into a messy calico cat. We just absorb all these random, chaotic traits simply because we identify with them. Our pure spiritual nature gets tainted by what we choose to hold on to.
So, moving on to Section 2, the gateway to unbound liberation. How exactly do we get that pure white coat back?
The text points to one ultimate doorway, the mind of no attachment, no bondage, and liberation. Think about it this way. If someone told you there was a literal mountain of gold and diamonds right outside your door, free for the taking, you wouldn't say, actually, I think I'll just take a nap, right? No way. You'd be out there energized. This unbound mind is exactly like that treasure. Without walking through this gateway, it's like willfully choosing to sleep in poverty while everyone else is scooping up boundless wealth.
All right, Section 3, Samantabhadra's dual dimensions. Let's map out enlightenment across the infinite dimensions of space and time.
This is where things get really cosmic. The text maps out enlightenment across 2 staggering dimensions. Horizontally, so spatial breadth, it's the mind-bending ability to fit the entire universe onto the tip of a single hair. And vertically, chronological depth, it's the profound capability to understand the past, present, and future thoughts of every single sentient being in one moment. It completely shatters how we normally view reality.
But here's the catch. Tracking human thoughts is basically like chasing a 4-dimensional moving target. Our minds change in a flash. One second you're thinking about eating a watermelon, the next second you're thinking about moving to a new city. Trying to follow that conventionally will just completely exhaust you. Even a fully enlightened being doesn't run around reacting to every fleeting thought. Instead, they rely on the absolute stillness of that unbound mind to perceive the entire timeline at once. Which brings us to Section 4, a grain of sugar for the ant. If this enlightened perspective is that huge, how does it interact with our everyday reality?
Well, think about helping a tiny ant. You wouldn't crush the poor thing by dropping a massive mountain of gold on it, right? You'd give it exactly 1 manageable grain of sugar. Because of our limited human capacity, if the infinite universe were fully revealed to us all at once, we literally couldn't handle it.
There's a brilliant line here. Giving an ant a bowl of rice isn't feeding it. It's building it a tomb. You'd bury it alive. It's all about teaching according to capacity. Handing someone cosmic truths or responsibilities they aren't ready for is actually destructive. True wisdom is knowing exactly how to scale the infinite down to that single grain of sugar a student can actually carry.
Finally, Section 5, guarding the mind and reversing karma. Let's see how we can actually apply this to alter our daily lives. How do we fix that messy calico cat situation we've created? It's a 3-step process. First, you have to recognize that every single fleeting thought is a karmic seed. What you focus on, you become. Second, stop feeding the chaotic habit. Stop identifying with your anger or greed and start identifying with that absolute unbound mind instead. And third, untie the core knot. Think of your attachments like a rope with 6 knots in it. You don't need 6 different tools. By guarding the fundamental mind and untying just that one central knot, the entire tangled web of karma just falls away, all at once.
It all boils down to what you choose to identify with. If you stick with a tiny reactive mind, you're stuck carrying single grains of sugar. But if you align with the unbound mind, the whole universe is yours to navigate. So I'm going to leave you with this final, provocative thought to chew on long after this explainer is over. Today, right now, are you choosing the boundless universe or the mind of an ant? Thanks for joining me on this incredible journey through the mind. Keep questioning and keep learning.